Done 2, Part 2. So I went to watch the movie last night, and before I get into it, I just want to say that I do not know nothing about the books, the novels, and the TV series and the other movies that came before it. I've just obviously watched the first one in 2021, Done, and I was really impressed by it. It's not something I was knew about or something I was interested in, and I knew it looked like a good film, looked like a good trailer. It looked like something like Mad Max, that kind of vibe I was getting for it. And I like Mad Max. So I decided to give it a watch, and it was a really good film. I did find it in the beginning, part one, very boring, but I was so into it. You know, it had a massive cast, a massive budget, and you could tell it was building up to something, and it was acted really well. And everything about it, from sound design, cinematography, camera movement, you know, the composition, it was just shot really well. And that's everything I liked about it, coming from a filmmaker's perspective. So Dan's one budget was 165 million, and the budget in the second one, this one, went up to 190 million. So it's a big jump. You can see the budget in the movie anyway. You can tell by the first budget and the second budget. Even though the first one had a big budget anyway, from look at the cast, that speaks for itself. You know, paying all those actors and where they shot it and everything. So it's a massive jump to 190 million for a budget. I think any filmmaker would like to have that budget, especially coming from a company. So yeah, so Done 2. Everything from this film you kind of saw from the first film. Basically, it has an all-star cast, a massive cast, and it even adds on a few more members into the cast, a few cameos as well. So you get to see that in this movie. What I can say about this movie, for me, what it done for me, the second one, I found the second one to be better and more intense. I didn't expect it to be as long. I knew it was going to be a long movie, but I was guessing 2 hours, but I guess they really pushed it. I think it's 3 hours long. Well, I was guessing, because I felt I was in the cinema for a long time. And in the beginning of the film, I could see where it was going. I understand where it was going as well, but I did find it very boring, and I was very bored from it. And I get they were trying to train Paul up, and Paul was coming this kind of leader, which we was all getting, which we was all understanding from the first one anyway, because he, you know, he's the one, he's special and everything. Everything I could say about the cast, again, what I said about the first one, it's acted really well. The actors have done great in this. They put a lot of effort into this movie, and the performances are great. I really enjoyed the performances, and from Zendaya and Rebecca Ferguson, I think they've all done great. Javier Bardem, he done an amazing job. I think he stands out in this cast really, Javier Bardem. I think I'm saying his name right anyway. And yeah, you get a few cameos as well. I didn't really expect Lex Zendaya is in this movie, which was surprising me because I'm a big fan of her as well. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. Like again, I'm not good at pronouncing names, but yeah, she really surprised me in this movie as well. Florence Pugh, she done an amazing job in this, but she wasn't in it as much. I didn't expect. I thought she was going to be in it much more, but I guess more to the end, you see her more when it comes to the end. And I think they're leading her into the next movie. You know, Christopher Walken, they would expect him to be in it as well. But again, this film just has an all-star cast. That's one thing I could say about the cast. Now, the way it was shot and the sound design was probably the major thing when you're watching this in the cinema. The sound design is just on another level, much more better than the first one. You know, it's something that Christopher Nolan is doing as well. The sound design is just, it captures you, it excites you at the right moments. You can tell when something's happening, and it's just out of this world. And I guess sound design is getting more recognized in films now, from a filmmaker's perspective, with me being a filmmaker. So I can understand that. It's beautifully shot, just like the first one. It's nicely shot. The cinematography is just out of this world, you know. The shots are just amazing. The establishing shots, the wide shots, they're just top notch. The composition, again, everything about it is just, it's nice, and it's perfection from a filmmaker. You know, not a lot of people, I feel, care about this movie. It was pretty a big deal for me, because I really enjoyed the first one, and I know it's got a history there, you know. I've never watched the previous Dune ones. For me, this is the first time watching it, the first and second one, and I really enjoy them. And I really like it has an all-star cast, and I really like the story of it, you know, everything about it. I think people will enjoy this movie if you go to see it, if you're interested in it. If you know about the books and about the previous films, and if you're really a fan of this film, this genre, and if you like the first one, I think you enjoy the second one. Again, it starts off really slow for me. It starts to pick up in the middle after when Paul is more confident and he's more courageous, and you know he's come one of them, I guess, and that's where it kind of kicks off. And then I didn't expect it to go more further. I thought it was going to stop anytime soon, because I thought it was going to be like a every chapter, every chapter, every chapter. But it really longed it out. It really longed it out. It pushed right to the end, because I thought, oh, are we going to get a final fight and that kind of thing? And we did. We kind of got all that kind of thing. And when they introduced one of the villains, one of the bad guys, and I was thinking that's how you introduce a villain. The way they introduce a villain, that's how you introduce a villain. And I really like the introduction of the villain, you know, coming to Batista's basically brother, who Batista plays. And I think that was really cool. I really like that. So yeah, you introduce a villain like that. I think this film has all its elements. It has its excitement. Again, it's very comparison to Star Wars and that kind of thing. But Dunn really does a good job. I think, one thing I could say about the cinematography is that this kind of genre now, it's like a John Wick thing. Like John Wick kind of created this genre of these kind of movies, and I think what the Batman done, the way the Batman was shot and Blade Runner was shot, people are bringing that more into filmmaking now. If you look at Dune, if you look at Mad Max now, and the new Mad Max one as well, so you can kind of see the cinematography of the gold lighting, you know what I mean, the neo lighting, that kind of thing. Yeah, if you get what I'm saying. But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was slow, but I got into it at the end, and it's like I wanted to see more. And some elements did shock me, but I enjoyed the movie all round though. I would give this a 4 stars, definitely. Just a 4 stars for me, but it was good. But have you seen Dune 2 yet? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. I want to be speaking to you guys and what your thoughts was on it about it, and what did you think of this review? Yeah.